Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a mostly sunny but rather cold Sunday morning here. We're down here at cabin 2 today, and we need to start moving forward on it. It's a little later in the day. You see the sun's already kind of up a little bit. It's a little after 10 o'clock in the morning. It was 32 degrees this morning when I got up and looked out the window at the thermometer. So yeah, a little chilly. So we do have, I'm out here in Western North Carolina, so the fall foliage is, a big part of the tourism industry out here. And I really think last night and tonight, it's going to be down in the mid to low 30s. So I really think we're going to see a massive blast of color change with the trees all through the local area. Right now, it's primarily just the maple trees that are orangish, yellowish, reddish color right now. But you can see, I see a little bit behind me here, but primarily things are still pretty green. I think it's going to be another week or two before things really start to pop out here as far as the color. And like I said, I think this cold weather is really going to push it in that direction. So we always look forward to that. I fired up the leaf blower the other day, so that's all ready to go. And based on last year, I will have a ton of leaves. Of course, I'm down here underneath all sorts of oak trees and everything, so there is that. But anyway, on to cabin 2. So objective for today, I've got to clean off the deck a little bit there. Got to kind of get my workstation kind of figured out how I want to do things, but I want to get the frame up today and just kind of see how things get on with getting cabin 2 up and going. So with cabins 1 and 3, just about, almost identical right now as far as what's been done to them and completed to them. There is, of course, some interior stuff that needs to be done, but my thinking is, as the temperatures drop and everything, I can always work inside. I've got a kerosene heater and stuff. I can heat the inside of this, and I can work all through the winter on the inside. It's the outside stuff that gets kind of tough day after day out here bundled up, trying to work with thick gloves on and things like that. It's just not my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to predominantly leave what's left of inside stuff for the winter time and get rolling here on cabin 2. So I would like to get in the next month, I would like to get cabin 2 framed up and with the roof on, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how things progress from that point. But that's kind of my thinking. That's kind of the mentality I have moving forward. I believe I have enough material to get the primary frame of cabin 2 up. Some of it may be scattered all around the property here, but it is what it is. We'll make it work. So predominantly, I have those 4x4 still sitting out right there. They should be all mostly dried up, certainly good enough to use. I've got to move this insulation off and just kind of tidy up a little bit. So enough talking. Let's get to it. All right, guys, just kind of sorting things out here, getting ready to go and make my first cut. So the first thing I have to do, or the first part of this project, is across the back wall, I have 3 posts, one in each corner and then one in the middle. These are all 92 inches long. So they'll be straight, flat posts, and then I will be notching out the beams that are going to interconnect them as well. And then I'll have some. Now this structure is a different shape than cabin 1 and 3, so it will definitely look a little different once I start, you know, putting some of these posts up and locations and things like that. So yeah, let's get to it. I just finished up here with the back wall. Nothing really crazy. Worst part was working around this stuff here. That's, you know, it's whatever. The only thing that was kind of unusual, I really expected it to happen, was in the corners, this side and the other side, the subfloor has been exposed now for some time, and it has certainly gotten wet. And that's one of the reasons why I went with this Advantech subfloor. It's going to resist, you know, water penetration and things like that. So, but there was some warping at the corners, which was throwing off my posts for being plumb. So I just ran my belt sander. You can see the light color wood there. That's just from where I ran the belt sander across it. So I just kind of sanded that down a little bit. And yeah, the post sits on there just square now. It's fine. So there's no, but that was kind of the only I guess out of the ordinary thing I guess I did for this. Wasn't bad. So cutting those lap joints, you can see the lap joints here lined up really well. I mean, it's so basic. It's a 4-inch overlap, and they're 2 inches deep because these are actual 4x4s. So yeah, I mean, no problem. Just cutting them, making a bunch of relief cuts, and then just knocking them out. It's pretty basic. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually plumb these up. I'm going to plumb these up and put some temporary bracing in. So we'll see some bracing off the corner in 2 directions, to the middle here, and then same on this side. So that my next step here is I'm going to have the wall structure here for the front. It's going to be taller than the stuff in the back just because of the way the roof is going to be laid out. But yeah, so that way it's one less thing I have to plumb, and hopefully it helps out with the front here. You know, we'll just go from there. Let's get it. Well, guys, just want to catch you up here. It's the end of the day. I've cleaned up the deck a little bit just so it kind of be able to see a little bit more clearly what I was able to get done today. Exactly what I was hoping to get done, and that was just about all of the main part of the framing. And everything went just fine. I struggled a little bit with this one beam that goes across here. That was the longest beam I had today, and you know, it's just one of those things where trying to keep this post here plumb while going over this post and this post. It ties into the top of this post here. You know, again, this was a you know, solo man issue. If I had another body here to help out, that would have been great, but I don't, so I didn't. But it got done, and it turned out great. So everything right now is lined up and plumb, which I'm really happy with. And I spent a little bit more time this afternoon doing that just because I know from building the first two, especially from cabin 1 and getting better on cabin 3, and now on cabin 2, I'm obviously applying everything I've learned, and yeah, I'm doing my best. That's just all there is to it. So anyway, all right, well, tomorrow we're looking at angle bracing. So angle bracing is going to go up around just about all the posts right there. I have quite a few, you see them here, short pieces, as well as I have plenty of 4x4s there in the back that are still on the deck that are all going to go into that effort. I should have plenty. I'm real happy with the amount of lumber that I had cut, and some of it twisted, but it wasn't beyond, you know, being able to be used. I've got 3 or 4 boards out here, right here in front of me, that kind of came off the pile. I said, I'll use them for kind of shorter pieces, just because the twist or the warp in it was a little more than what I wanted on the main part of the framing here, which, you know, that's fine. As long as I have stuff I need, that it worked out just fine. So tomorrow, angle bracing, and then I'll hopefully get some nailers put in there, the nailers that go in between the insulation. And oh, I'm sorry, those are actually going to be on the inside, right? Those are part of the inside, so they're going to tie all of the posts together. And then I've got to make a call. I got to order some materials. So I need rafters, roof sheathing, and my ridge beam I'm going to have across there. So looking forward to that. Gonna be another cold one tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be out at the crack of dawn or not, but we shall see. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.